Ladies and gentlemen, I believe there is a conspiracy at work here. And not something as mundane or simple as turning the frogs gay with fluoride in the drinking water. I think that DACs, and there are 3 DACs here. I think the DACs may be the least important thing in your system. I think you know this already. You've come to watch this video. Download this mouse pad in the description. You know, if you had a printer, you could download a mouse pad. Then they had to put ads on that was like, you wouldn't download a mouse pad. And I totally would download this ramen mouse pad because I need to link something that you're actually going to want to fucking purchase in this video. But anyway, 3 different DACs, very similar price ranges. You're the most expensive one at $550. Then you're $469 or $400 depending on the site, and you're $450. Hold on, that's the Velvet. $450. So I've been here for 2.5 hours. I got my Topping LA90, which happens to have 3 balanced inputs in the back of it. I've put gray tack over the indicator to tell me which one's plugged into which. I didn't put that on. I balanced the channels. These have to be down 0.5 decibel because this one's a little bit quieter, so these have to come down to match it. I used my multimeter to, not multimeter, my goddamn sound pressure level meter in the cups, and it did a thing. And then I stuck waifu stickers on them because or else I'll be bored as fuck. Look, the clipboard and the pen and the fucking squinty eyes. She's like, what are you talking about, Zeos? Where is this conspiracy? So I don't think we need a new DAC every 3 months, 3 weeks. SMSL makes 2 of these. All right, follow me here. I love this right here, the SMSL DO200. I love that amplifier. It's an amplifier. I like amplifiers. Amplifiers and amplification matter with a headphone. I'm currently still wearing the Abyss Dianas. I've got the Timsock TS1024s using the new Dakoni gel pads, which had to be, just know they're not designed for it. But I think an amplifier makes a lot of difference in the headphone. It can do that. Some of them sound very similar, but like a Class A, like Rebel amp versus something that's very linear, like a 789, there's going to be differences there and you're going to feel them. With DACs, they can change. There used to be this like weird underground thing of like, no, Saber DACs suck. It's all about that AKM. AKM factory burned to the ground in Japan. So that no one could have AKM DACs anymore. Then everything had to go Saber DACs. And we spent enough time, about a year, solidly a year and a half, where all the manufacturers had to swap all their equipment over from going with AKM, which is what's in this, by the way, to going with Saber DACs or ESS DACs, which is what's in both of these, and this. We'll talk about this one as well. More waifus, because this is the E70 non-Velvet. And I might shoot that. All right, 1 second. Back to my conspiracy theory. So what happened was everybody stopped being able to use AKMs, and those were the best because they're Japanese. And we had to use these fucking American DACs that run hotter and require more power and a little bit harder to use. But everyone got good at it. Everyone got so good at it that when you say, "Oh no, AKM is back, everybody," I don't care. So these are 2 different ESS chips. This is an AKM version of the E70. This is an ESS version. This is an AKM version. I've got that amplifier, which I trust implicitly. Going to $4,500 headphones that I've literally stated are like the detail whores of the world. So if you're going to hear a difference, this would be the one. Do amps make a bigger difference than the headphone? Yes. But here's the thing. I'm feeding through an identical 3 sets of world's best XLRs. Link to world's best XLRs in the comments, in the description. Wow, my brain. You know what? Actually, I'm gonna unplug this because I've had this for a long enough time now. I'm gonna swap it again. There's a few subtle differences in like control schematics and how the menus are laid out, but like the 2 SMSLs they basically don't need to exist because one is that this is the DO200 Mark II, right? Just came out because there was a DO200 Mark I, and this is the newer version of it. You know what this is? The DO300. What the fuck are you doing, SMSL? Why would you take a DO200, which costs like a lot, like it's not cheap, it's like $350, and then make a Mark II version that raises the price, and then at the same exact time, bring out a 300 that's in the same chassis, with the same screen and the same remote that if I hit mute, and they all mute power. Why? Oh, and one of these, I forget which one, because my fucking brain, does MQA CD. It supports MQA CD. So that's kind of where the conspiracy comes in. How you feeling? You puking? Sweet over there was giving pukies. I think MQA, as I love to shit on MQA, because if you don't know what MQA is, please go find, just search Golden Sound in Google, and the very first result is Golden Sound MQA, question mark? Go watch his explanation of what the fuck they're trying to do. I think there's some sort of agenda being pushed behind the scenes where they want to give people back the choice of AKM because people are fanboys of AKM. And I honestly, I can't hear a difference, and I never could. Like maybe when I was comparing the FIO K9, there was a difference between the ESS and the AKG, and I like the ESS one more. Maybe. But that had different powers. That did more internally. There was vents for the heat. There was things that changed to make one versus the other. And I think there was more that just changed than just the DAC chip. Because you can't just like you can't take an AKM chip out and drop an ESS. There's a whole different architecture you got to build around it, which should mean that there's bigger differences than there are. But with DACs, and this is the crux of the situation, a DAC, a box that is designed to take a digital input and give you an analog output, a digital to analog converter, a DAC is measurable. I mean, you can measure headphones and headphone amps, and you measure IM or frequency response, but a DAC itself is the most solidly, scientifically, audio science review thing, because you could just say, here's a signal, the same as a signal on everything that I've got, what comes out, and measure the analog. And if it's close to perfect, it's perfect. And we're all close to perfect here. Nothing here stands out. Certainly between these two, it's like, well, the form factors are fucking identical. So why? They both have, these are SMSLs. The only thing SMSL has going for them in the DAC world is a sound color option, which if you've never hear me talk about sound color, real quick, let me go to this, go down. So now we're on sound color there. So now we're going to go up to sound color there. Okay, so now I hit enter. Yeah, sound color modes on these are standard, which means you're not coloring the sound. When you color the sound, like these headphones are very neutral, and so are these. I don't have any coloring of the sound. All those headphones you see back there, by the way, the sun is out, look. Did you know that I had a window there? You probably didn't. All those headphones there color the sound in some way that makes them unique. It's like if every car was just, I want to say Honda Civic, but everyone would be, what's the most boring car? Whatever the, like Ford, 1999 Ford Taurus. Every car is that. Every car. It's communism, one, and everyone just needs a car to get to work. You don't need a fast car, you don't need a bigger car. Everyone's a Ford Taurus. No. You want the faster car, the slower car, the car with more cargo space. That's every fucking headphone on the wall does something different. So that's coloring the sound. You're doing it whether because that's your passion as a headphone designer or because you just physically can't make it the best headphone. Abyss likes to claim that their 1266 is like the greatest headphone. And in one aspect, maybe it is. If you put it on a measurement rig, it colors the sound the least. Again, who wants that? You want to color the sound. So the Dianas now with the different pads and the slightly more sound, they actually do color the sound. These all have their own little fucking flavors. But what DACs don't have is a color. Now, I've specifically pointed out DACs that do color. The own X8 Magic DAC with the swappable op amp that runs the amplification circuit out. I've got that swapped with a very weird op amp chip that makes the amplification weird. Because the DAC, the digital analog conversion, is still clean. Then there's FPGA stuff that you can mess around with, which is basically you've installed a computer that does the DAC conversions for you, and you could write the code any way you want. You could write it while you're high as fuck. You could write it while you're depressed, and it'll change the way the sound comes out minutely. And then there's like the OWN S8, which I have no idea why, but I love that DAC. I just don't understand why. As an audio reviewer who's been doing this, who wants to be honest, be trusted by you time and time again, I have no idea why I like the way that sounds. At least, and the R2R, pointing like it's down there. It's not down there. The Aries 2 R2R DAC. I was gonna say Death on Ray. That's not it. But like, there are differences in some DACs, but honestly, most DACs are aiming for perfection, and it's a measurable thing, and you can tweak until it gets closer, and those numbers get lower down on the signal to noise ratio, and then it's all fucking same. And that's what we have here. We have 3 of the exact same DAC. It's that gift from The Office. They're the same picture. I was literally going to find the same exact sticker and just stick it on there and then stick it on there, and it would have been exactly the same. I'll put these on for a second. By the way, these, like I said, these are using the new Dakoni jellies. They're like a cold gel pad. And these fucking Tim socks use fucking Velcro, like a recessed Velcro thing. So I just literally flipped the thing around to like just get it to stick. And it's working really well. But yeah, so I don't know which DAC. If I turn this up, and I've been playing nothing, I've been playing a lot, but then I switched to like the Made in Abyss Season 2 soundtrack and started crying. And that was another thing. One of the ways, like the only way I can test a DAC, I don't have oscilloscopes. I don't have $100,000 measurement rigs. I've just got my ears and my heart and music, which at the end of the day is all you're really putting to the test. If you have to show me, if I show up to your house, and you're like, look at my sound system, and then you're just pulling out graphs and like, look how it measured on the 3rd. Oh my God, it's like baby pictures. Oh my God, look how flat it was there. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about your baby pictures of your audio equipment. I'm there to sit down, have a glass of, let me think. I have a lot of alcohols, and quarantine's been long, so if I had to pick one, I think rum is my go-to. Rum makes me the happiest. I turn into a pirate. If you want to have happy Zeos show up, give him rum. So I think I would sit down with some rum, and I don't smoke, but I wanted to sit down with some rum and go through some music and laugh and have a good time. And you know what? Any one of these DACs will provide that. The speakers should be grand, and the room should be treated, and the playlist should be full of variety. But I don't give a shit about the DO200 Mark II versus the DO300 versus the Velvet edition of the E70 versus, and neither should you. And the thing is, I'm going to keep doing these DAC reviews because it gives me this opportunity to rant. It also gives me the opportunity to put these in the yard sale from the 1st to the 10th of every month. I usually sell all the DACs, and where this is a $550 DAC, you can go and bid what you actually think it's worth. Because there is one other aspect I should talk about when it comes to like picking a DAC or picking any equipment for your thing. And that's, are you fooling yourself? Because I know, and I'm the most anti-spend money guy you'll find. As much as I have all this shit, if you took away this as my job and you're like, well, you're now this job and you still want all this audio equipment, I'd be like, fuck no. Fuck no, I don't want all this audio equipment. Give me very simple things. You ripping up the box? The Drake's ripping up a box. I think I lost my train of thought. Ranting, audio equipment, fuck no. Shit. I had a good point I was going to go into just now. God damn it. That pisses me off. Mousepad. $10 a month, Patreon. My own brain fucking just interrupted me. So, God damn it. I'm going to pause the camera for a second and see if I figure it out. I went back and watched the video. Yeah, one other aspect of picking a DAC or any piece of equipment, this is what I was going to get onto, is as much as I am the cheap asshole who are like, just buy within your needs, if you give me an $8,000 amplifier like I had, or a $500 amplifier, or any amplifier that I truly love and respect, putting like the cheapest, shittiest DAC on it, not shittiest, but just like the cheap, like there's a monetary fucking line where I'm like, do I really want to use like an SMSL $100 DAC for this $600 amplifier, it doesn't feel right. It's expectation bias, which is a real thing that makes you hear things that aren't a real thing. You having a hard time there, the Drake? He's so funny. So the price that these are at, between $400 and $550, I feel like enough people watching this right now have in their mind a budget for a DAC to make their dream system. And this is as high as you should ever fucking dream. All right? I've had over $2,000, $4,000 DACs. Don't dream that high, because there's nothing there. But if I tell you just go out and get a Geshelli Labs DAC for $150 and you'll be very happy with it, I'm not lying to you. You will not notice an audible difference between a basic Geshelli Labs DAC and most other of these other DACs, toppings and SMSLs. R2R stuff, maybe if you sat down and really picked at it. But like, the monetary exchange is not there. But your brain is telling you, oh fuck, I didn't spend enough of my DAC. That's why it's imperfect. It's imperfect until I spend more money on it. And this one is $100 more than this one, so it's got to be better because it's $100 more. And the DAC numbers change. It goes from, wait, I want to get this exactly right. It goes from this is the DO300. It goes from the ESS ES 9068AS times 2 to a single ES 9039 MS Pro. Obviously, life is going to be so much better. It's not going to be better. Stop it. All three of these DACs, and I'm presuming all four of these DACs, so I hooked up the normal. I'll check it in a bit. I just want to get this done. I don't know what I was listening to. Here, ready? Look, listen. Change DAC. Change DAC. Change DAC. And I sat here and I clicked it I clicked it a bunch of times so I wouldn't know what it is, and then I clicked it every once in a while. Just sitting here, just listening to the music, and it's going, and I'm like, I'm having an emotional reaction to music, because certainly Made in Abyss will make you fucking do that, Kevin. And then I'm just like, press the button. Has my emotion changed? Do I feel better, worse? Is there something I love more now or less? And the answer is no. No. This is actually a perfect spread, because I was like, oh fuck, they're sending me another DAC. Oh fuck, they sent me another DAC. Oh fuck, they sent me another DAC. Because this is like, this one's APOS, and I think this one's Aoshita, and this one is probably Linsol, I think. But Aoshita's got that one for less than Linsol does, so I have to message them before the video comes out and say, hey, price match this, or else what's the point? But they're perfect in that they're all in that clusterfuck of like $350 to $550 or $400 to $550. They're so close in price. They have exactly nearly the same features. Real quick rundown of, these have screens and a knob, and the knob is digital, and you press it to get into the menu, and you hold it to get out of the menu, and you can turn the knobs for volume. I can look at the back of either one of these because they're identical in back. XLR outputs, RCA outputs, AES input, II2S input is a Bluetooth antenna, which I have not installed in any of these because God knows I'm not going to test Bluetooth on all these goddamn DACs. They'll be good enough. Although, why would you feed a Bluetooth signal into a $550 DAC? And then, I mean, for convenience sake, yes, but not for like critical music listening. No matter how much I love like LDAC, it's, that stuff. Coaxial digital, USB down there, fiber optic, you get your full power plug with a big ass power switch in the back, which you don't need to use because you can just turn it off, soft off in the front. This and this have the exact same asses, like identical. And then you've got the much smaller, honestly, if it was just a matter of for beauty, I'd get the E70 or the E70 Velvet. Although I get the E70 because you don't need the Velvet one, because it's why you, we'll see in a second. This has trigger outputs. Maybe you need triggers. Maybe you're running a DAC with a remote control into power amps. Features are a reason you buy a more expensive DAC or a different DAC than just like whatever for features. And not a lot of these come with features. None of them are like streaming DACs, but this has triggered in and out. It's great. USB, fiber optic coaxial, Bluetooth antenna, again, RCA outs, XLR outs. I think they will all switch what the output is. I know on this you can pick if you want RCA and XLR or just RCA or just XLR. So maybe that's something that's a feature that you want to know about. And I've gone over all these in like the previous reviews of all this stuff because they were all revision 2s or 3s or Mark 1s and Mark 2s. This one specifically doesn't have as much of a menu as when you turn the power off and then hold it, because there's a power button here this has a clickable thing, but it's also got a power button hidden behind the glass that you have to do. This is a much clearer screen also. If I was gonna like throw a DAC in a living room for a set of studio monitors and for some reason I wanted to spend this much fucking money in my living room, you know, there's cheaper DACs with big screens. Just saying, you know, this has a nicer screen than these. As much as these are like actual colored screens, I like the dot matrix displays over there. So yeah, no, I'm DAC'd. I have to, it's not wasting time because you're here listening to me. However many of you stay to the end of these videos, I don't know, 50 people. I'm waiting for a big leap. I like doing like cheap headphones. When a cheap headphone comes out and it fucking destroys the market, it's like, oh my God, there's impact there. The odds of a DAC stepping up and being fucking amazing, unless you've got something like the, what's the little credit card size one? The Cottis Tone. Like that thing, I could talk about that for hours because it sounded good. Yeah, it sounded probably like every other DAC, but it was interesting. It had a knob, and the knob had a menu that you had to memorize and had RCA cables that were balanced. It's like, what the fuck is it? So that's interesting. These are just boxes. This is a much prettier box. Get the E70 Velvet or get the E70. And then I did spend time taking off the high-res audio stickers. There were 2 on each one of these. I got the heat gun out and I heat gunned them off to peel them off nice and easily. And now we're here with just, at least there's something to look at on them. Are we done? That was a perfect wallpaper, by the way, because she's just got the look of like, what the fuck? What is this conspiracy to just keep making DACs every 2 weeks? It feels like, I don't even know how many DACs I could get in a year. There's way too fucking many. SMSL should come out with 1 DAC every 6 fucking months. All right? Maybe it's AKM and ESS doing it, because we don't talk about them. You talk about SMSL, you talk about Topping, you talk about Gashelli, you talk about all these other brands. But, you know, ESS wants to sell things all the time. Not one thing. They want to sell all the time. So, a new thing. We got a new thing. MQA fucking folding, home, all the... And no one cares. And no one fucking cares. No one should care. No one should care. Someone watching this video, however, cares and is upset with me because I didn't actually go into how they sound. Well, how do the DACs sound? I can't tell them apart. And you know what? If you hooked up 50 more DACs, I probably couldn't tell them apart either, except if you get very specifically a DAC that fucks with the sound, which could either count as a bad DAC or a very nice DAC. R2R DACs supposed to sound different. They're supposed to sound different, but they're supposed to measure straight, which makes no fucking sense to me. I'm done. I have to finish this. Anyway, I'm going to CanJam New York. I'll be there. I won't be bringing any of these DACs. I will be bringing cheap headphones to show off and maybe some nice things to play around with. And I'll be doing a panel at CanJam. Ask the reviewers with who's going to be there. Critical's going to be there. I'm trying to get a Golden Sound on the panel. And then Resolve will be there. And I think Jude from HeadFi will be there. So the head of the 2 largest audio forums, I'm going to count Hi-Fi Guides as one of the largest. So it'll be HeadFi and Hi-Fi Guides will be represented. Anyway, wallpapers in the Horde. Like I said, Patreon and Subscribe Star. Me and I can yell and scream about this shit and not really concern myself. You guys are paying the bills. You're also capable of buying these things once I put them in the yard sale. And just like, you know what? Kind of don't... I almost would be tempted to keep the identical ones, and they're identical, just so I could have a stack and then plug a bunch of shit into it. But either way, they've got cute waifus when I do sell them, and you can pick those up. See reviews early, participate in yard sales. Hear all the sound demos. All the sound demos now that I film go directly to private concerns. Or I don't film them. I'm not even involved, because there's music that gets played that I have no rights to play, but I can't play them on YouTube. So there's that. $10 a month private behind-the-scenes Telegram chat, which comes with the ability to join the swap meet where you can buy, sell, and trade gear. Let's say you bought way too expensive a DAC. Maybe you sell to someone else. However, everyone there should know not to buy expensive DACs, but you could try. And yeah, no, I'm good. Right? Mousepad links and DACs and Jesus, just Aoshita and Apos and Linsol. And it's like, I want to keep reviewing DACs because there's going to be one that I'm going to whip out. But imagine if I did an individual review of one of these. Hey, everybody, we're here to talk about DO200 Mark II, and it's a great DAC, and it does this. Hey, everybody, we're here to talk about DO300, and it's a great DAC, and it does this. Hey, everybody, we've got a new upgraded version of the E70 Velvet, now with an cam chip, and it's a great DAC, and it does this. I'm not doing it. I'll put 10 DACs in this fucking desk and get out of the way. As long as you guys like these videos, and I mean literally, like, click the like button. Share it with other audio assholes, by the way. Like, I'm banned from our Audiophile and our headphones, but feel free to post there. Because it doesn't fucking matter. Just get a competent DAC that makes you on the inside feel like you're good enough. Because I can't sway that out of you, because I can't even sway it out of me. Like, I feel like I need a $400 or $500 DAC to really know that just to verify the numbers are solid. And that's stupid, and I'm stupid. We're all stupid. Stupid. Yeah, no. Not really. Maybe the Velvet? I don't know. No, we're good. No.